Welcome on board. This is Anisha here with an important update for all of you that Welingkar has released its shortlist today itself. So all the students who had applied in the phase 1 based on your CAT scores and your overall profile, the shortlist for the group activity and personal interview is now released on their website. You can go and check on the website itself. Here, when you go to this particular website, you will be able to see all the details with respect to what is the next step ahead, right? So they have, this time it's going to be an offline process, which is in Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi, Indore and Kolkata. The GAPI is going to be a step-by-step process where first you have a 1 hour of online test, which is, set of interactive questions which are going to come to you. Essentially, those are questions, you can say, like a psychometric test to understand you as a person, what are your qualities, your traits, management orientation towards situation based questions. There's no right or wrong for these kind of questions. It's just to know more about you as a person and your thought process. What do you think about various scenarios? How do you prioritize your tasks? And what decisions do you take? So that's going to be an interesting 1 hour test, which is online, followed by a group activity. That's a 20 minutes of group activity where you do case discussions, group activities like a GD on a general topic, like a something which is very common or what's happening these days, like the budget, or with respect to how AI and ML is transforming in management space, different sectors, right? So see, such kind of group activities followed by a personal interview. So that's the kind of shortlist process which we have right now. People who have not yet applied, the phase 2 applications should open up somewhere around first week of February, and then further ahead you will have your deadlines and everything available on the website itself. To know more about what you have done, please go ahead and make sure you read about all the programs which are there on the website itself. So you will see there are multiple programs which are there offered at Welingkar. You have programs in full-time programs, PGDM core, where you can choose your specialization, whether it's marketing, finance, HR, operations towards the second year. There's e-business, specific to the e-business sector, business design, PGDM healthcare, retail management, rural management, media and entertainment, research and business analytics. So there are flagship, these are all full-time flagship programs, not part-time programs. You can choose your, whatever you have already selected, you can choose your preferences, but make sure you read about each of these sectors when you sit for these interviews. If you remember, when you filled in the application form, each of these subsections, you had specific questions. Those questions answers, read through it well, because the person taking your interview will have that form with you as well, also with them. So they will make sure they ask you those questions like why retail management, why media and entertainment, or why rural management. Be ready for these answers. The shortlist includes both Mumbai and the Bangalore campus. In Bangalore, you have only 4 programs, that's PGDM e-business, business design and research and analytics, which is there. To get a fair idea about how the college has been doing of late, check out the placement report which is there. So if you look at the Mumbai's placement stats which they have shared, currently for the ongoing batch of 2022-24, the highest salary is of 40 lakhs, average is 12.53. The last year's placement stats of the batch which has completed, the average was 12.03, highest was 25.48 domestic. Internationally, the average was 21.4 and the highest being 24 lakhs. So definitely the college is doing great. You need to make sure you prepare yourself for the next phase in a very structured and an organized way. So make sure you are attending all your live lectures to understand the basics of marketing, finance, group discussion, case studies, personal interview and current affairs, because most of these interviews revolve around knowing what's happening right now in the business industry and in the current economy as well also. Especially be prepared for budget, because that is something which is going to be a must do thing for everybody. Alright, come on to your dashboard. On the learn section, you have the non-IIM college dockets. Here we will read about all the experiences which are shared from the past students of Welingkar. So you can see what are the kind of case discussions and group activities which happen. So here there were 10 people. A case study was given where some stats were given about being from a nutrition expert. What will you take to prevent the increasing rate of health risks among young children in the country? So 5 minutes were given by the two panelists to think, and then after the buzzer was done, a discussion was open for everybody, and 5 minutes was given post that to jot down your summary as well. Also, this is a very interesting thing. 5 minutes to pre-think, 10 minutes to discuss, 5 minutes to jot down and write down your summary and give. So make sure if you're given such kind of an opportunity, you summarize not just your own points but also what the whole group has discussed, so that it shows your involvement in the group, and your listening skills also are very important. We look at the interviews. Essentially, interviews revolve around what you have filled in your application form and to know you more better as a person. This is an interview experience from someone from the last year in Delhi. This particular interview was done. First, they noticed the haircut, which was different from the picture uploaded on the application form, and they asked if I had got a haircut specifically for the interview, which you mentioned yes, which is there. So they are noticing you top to bottom. It's very important to go well groomed, clean shaven, well dressed, formal attires, shoes, very important, polished, and don't wear too bright colors, guys. Make sure you're subtly and well dressed. Okay. Then they asked me to tell something about myself, gave details about education qualification, work experience, job profile, strengths, and the hobbies. Then they inquired about the academic scores and how CGPA is converted into a percentage for graduation. Next, they asked why MBA, which specialization, and the reason behind the choices. Asked information about the past work experience, what was your company's, your job profile, and what kind of impact was created in there. What are your weaknesses? Which courses I had chosen. So they made sure they asked which specializations you have applied. This particular student had applied for PGDM Core, e-business, and business design. So then they asked the meaning of e-business, which is why I mentioned that you have to be very well read for this. Next is a very interesting question, the importance of new technologies, and asked for 2 examples how AI impacts business. So if you are applying for e-business, which is technology driven, make sure you are aware of such things, right? Then they asked if I believed businesses in India would flourish in the near future. Then they wanted to know how India is performing in the world market in the current scenario. And that's it, the interview concluded. So essentially, the interview is going to revolve around knowing you as a person. What have you chosen as the options of your specializations? What have you submitted in the application form? And what's happening currently in the overall business and the GDP and the economy? And please make sure you read about the budget for sure. Alright, stay tuned to the channel for all the updates about all the colleges, interview process, and how to go about the same. If you guys have not yet started your preparation, you've got your shortlist now, don't waste more time. You have got around 10 to 15 days before your interviews. So make sure you attend everyday classes starting from tonight 10 p.m. where it's going to be focusing on about how to crack your personal interviews, and tomorrow we'll be focusing about the current affairs, what's happening and what's required to be known for all the GDs, WAT, and the personal interviews. All right, all the best. Take care.